So, prosecutors today, let me go ahead and pull this up. Prosecutors say singer David stabbed 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez to death to silence her. All right, this shit's about to be serious. Los Angeles AP prosecutor said Wednesday that the singer David killed 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez by stabbing her multiple times, then dismembered her body using a chainsaw in his garage. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office shared what they said the evidence in this case would show in the court filing that provided the first detailed allegation of the killing and efforts to cut apart Rivas Hernandez's body and get rid of the evidence. Okay. The court filing said David, whose legal name is David Burke, met Rivas Hernandez when she was 11, began sexually abusing her when she was 13 and he was 18, and killed her when she threatened to reveal their inappropriate relationship. Knowing he had to silence the victim before she ruined his music career, as she had threatened very soon after her arrival at his home, defendant stabbed the victim to death multiple times and stood by while she bled out, the filing said. It was also said that he did it in his garage, in a fucking pool, in like one of those blow-up pools. That's insane. She was basically, I guess, poetic. They put a 3-stream streak. What ended up happening was, and this is not to downplay anything at all. It's like, I guess she wasn't fucking with the fact that this PDF was trying to mess with multiple women, and she basically threatened him to do all this. Burke had pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. You pled not guilty? His lawyers have said he is innocent and did not cause Rivas Hernandez's death. See, this is the key word, though. His lawyers have said he is innocent and did not cause the death. We're talking about that case with David Burke. He did not cause her death. What are y'all trying to say here? That she stabbed herself? Her body was found decomposing in a Tesla towed from the Hollywood Hills in September of last year. It says prosecutor obtained text messages between the two from April 22nd, 2025, the night before all her phone activity went quiet, and they believe she was killed. They also obtained text messages that showed their sexual relationship, including child sexual abuse CP of her on his phone. The messages revealed the victim's jealousy over defendant's relationships with other women, as defendant led her to believe they had a future together. The document says she became extremely upset and threatened to disclose damaging information about her relationship with the defendant to end his career and destroy his life. All right. What up, Harlow Child? How you doing? See, the crazy thing about this whole thing is this dude David was a creep before he called himself David, the way he does, like with the 4. He had another name, and he used to play Fortnite, and they said that he possibly knew this girl and other youngins probably when he was like 14 and they were all like 9, 10. And he was weird as it is, you know what I mean? It says the court filing is intended to outline the evidence that prosecutors plan to present at a preliminary evident hearing beginning May 26, when a judge will determine whether there is probable cause to go to trial. The defense has not publicly provided its version of events. The document says that David Burke bought 2 chainsaws online that he used to cut apart her body in an inflatable pool in his garage, where the girl's DNA was later found. Defendant took horrifying measures to destroy and discard the victim's body, prosecutor said in a brief. Burke then drove to Lake Cachuma in Santa Barbara County, about 110 miles. Excuse me. Joined David at 73 months and Pixie David at 65 stream streak. I appreciate you. It said northwest of his home to get rid of the evidence. The documents alleges her passport was found there in January. Burke returned home by April 24th when he gave a radio interview promoting his debut full-length album Withered, which was released the following day, prosecutors said in the filing. Lil Pope, thank you for the follow, man. Big Man, thank you for the 90 stream streak. And Varys, thank you for the 15 stream streak. This guy needs to get the death penalty. If he is alleged, to be the guy. If he is, he needs the death penalty, or he needs to get stoned. One or the other, something has to happen. But I will say this: this is some sick ass shit. They're gonna now officially use his lyrics in court. His lyrics will now officially be used in court because of just like when you got gangster rappers rapping about what they've done. They are officially using his lyrics in court because he has described the murder the same way they have found the body, and the way I guess the examiners are discovering how she was killed. Like, it's disgusting. Bring back the firing squad, bring it all back, douse his motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? And then they said he didn't do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're saying he wasn't the cause of her death. That is an insane pool. That's an insane reach. They're gonna probably say that either she took drugs or she killed herself, and he stood by it. But the evidence that these guys have seemed very like descriptive for them for David and his team to try to act like they're not, like he's innocent. Wouldn't be surprised if they find it in the lyrics. Yeah, no, they literally found it in one of the lyrics. They even have a female who in the animated lyric, and I think he has an animated music video or something, but where the girl looks like her too. It's insane. It said defendant took horrifying measures to destroy and discard the victim's body. Prosecutors said in that brief. Excuse me. Let's go. The body of Rivas Hernandez had so degraded that examiners couldn't even determine her eye color. She had braces at the time of her death and a tattoo that read shush, that said shush or whatever, on the inside of her finger, as well as his name. According to the report, 2 fingers were missing, as were parts of her arms and legs. This shit right here is crazy. Prosecutors had not previously described how they believe Rivas Hernandez was killed or given details on their relationship. An autopsy report said she was killed by penetrating wounds, meaning she was stabbed to death. Prosecutors said that the parents of Rivas Hernandez reported her missing from her home in Lake Eleanor, some 80 miles outside of Los Angeles in February 2024. After the February report, Riverside County Sheriff detectives contacted Burke, but he told them he had only met her once and did not know she was a minor. Do y'all understand what that mean? Is Elsinore? Elsinore? Y'all get what that? Do you understand what they just said? She was missing from her home in Lake Elsinore, 80 miles outside of Los Angeles in February 2024, y'all. After the February report, the county sheriff detectives contacted Burke, but that means they knew, and they've been in contact with him. And he told them he only met her once and did not know she was a minor. So they knew, and they've been on him ever since. And they waited way too long. After she returned home that February, her parents took away her cell phone, but Burke drove to her hometown and paid a friend of Rivas Hernandez $1,000 to give her a phone so they could communicate. She was reported missing again in April of 2024. The document said last year she spent much of her time at Burke's home in the Hollywood Hills and traveled with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. Everybody need to go to motherfucking jail. And I'm just going to say this right now. I'm going to say this right now. There's times, they used to say I look too old for my age when I was younger. They were like, oh man, you look grown for your age. You know what I'm saying? I was like 19. They thought I was 25. If you look at this girl, Celeste, she still looks like a little girl from even her last picture. You mean to tell me that the family, his family, did not recognize that this girl looks too young? There is no way you look at that girl's face and you cannot tell that she is a little girl. That means not only, because I'm going to keep it a bean, I hate to be that guy, but her family failed her. His family failed him. No one took accountability. That girl's family needs to be in trouble because apparently they knew who David was. Her family absolutely failed her. And this shit is absolutely crazy. This is fucking nuts. He took her to Las Vegas, London, and Texas. He took this little girl to London. She spent much of her time at Burke's home in Hollywood Hills to travel with him. Las Vegas, London, and Texas. They didn't run her passport. The family never did a missing persons report, so that way whenever they ran her shit, it popped up missing person. They didn't report her missing until later because they assumed she was with David. That family needs to go to jail. Her family needs to go to jail. Her family is absolutely responsible. That little girl was out here traveling 80 to 100 miles to Hollywood Hills to be with an older man, and the mom knew who David was. They did a missing persons report late. They knew she was with David. The family that. Am I bugging? Wait. Oh, that's the dryer. So, the crazy thing about this is that the family was starting to ask for Celeste when the missing thing came up. They tried to reach out to him saying, "Hey, where is she?" And then they filed it. Y'all was not filing shit this whole time. They need to go to jail. What up, V-Quid? That's jail time. This is nuts. The defense attorney's Superior Court Judge, Charlene F. Olmedo, who is, she's vicious, at a hearing Wednesday to seal the document, but she declined. They had no comment outside of court. Wow. Burke was arrested April 16 and pleaded to first-degree murder, lewd, and lascivious acts. Lascivious or lascivious, I can't pronounce that shit. Acts with a person under 14 and mutilating a dead body. He is eligible for the death penalty, but prosecutors said they did not decide whether to seek it. That's crazy. The singer began making music on YouTube, and he created also for the video game Fortnite when he was a teenager. It said the songs he wrote and recorded on his phone were a blend of indie rock, R&B, lo-fi, and pop. It said blah blah. He performed last year at Coachella Music Festival a few weeks before the prosecutor said Rivas Hernandez was killed and his album was released. He was on tour promoting it in September when the body was discovered and his name publicly attached to the case. It will be 7 months before he was arrested. This shit is fucking crazy. What up, T-Mac? The fact that you can sit here and promote music and promote all this shit, knowing you done killed this little girl and then dismembered her body. Yeah, he had another minor in the house. What up, V-Quid? He had like another minor in the house that I guess was like her friend. But later on, people were, and then here's the crazy thing. You got to be a sick ass bitch. He would be on stream and she would allude to him being a pedo and he would have to tell Maz to delete it. Then she would make jokes about, you ruining these little ones' lives and like making like weird jokes. And he would he brought her around the FaZe house, bro. Huh? You brought a little girl to the FaZe house? You had her around Jason Noween, and Jason's stupid ass sat here and tried to defend them and act like what dumb motherfuckers do. You sit there, you start defending motherfuckers. You don't even bother sitting back saying, whoa, I don't want to say, no, I don't want to get involved. You sat there and tried to defend them, and now look at you. You said FaZe ain't even a thing no more. Yeah, you'll see tomorrow. They got a whole new trailer dropping. That shit is fucking garbage. That shit is fucking crazy. He brought her over the FaZe house to the pool party. And she was with another girl and they had their hoodies on and shit. That shit is weird. Holly weird, bro. That shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy, man. I think they have ringer footage of him driving the Tesla, somebody driving that Tesla. He said Jason Wayne speaks about people hating on him for the David case. They don't care about the girl or the family affected. They just want to hate on me. Well, no, he deserves every bit of it because he's a fucking idiot. I mean, I fuck with Jason and Ween's content, but he's a fucking idiot. So you should know how the internet is. Stop trying to move like the internet has logical sense. What up, Wankster? Stop moving like the internet has logical sense in them, and know that if you did that, the internet was going to get at you. And that's exactly what happened. He was saying David was innocent before he got arrested. No, he said David was innocent even after he got arrested. You're right. He was saying David was innocent even after David had ended the tour. When he had ended his whole tour, he was still saying David was innocent. That motherfucker's sick, bro. He stabbed her multiple times. Oh, man. This is fucking crazy. He used a chainsaw to dismember her body in the fucking garage. This shit is crazy. And then they delayed the case. I hate when they do shit like that. They delayed the hearing till May 20. Ain't May 26 when they announced the GTA? I don't want to. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Hold on. This shit is wicked. Ain't that when they? I think they just said that today. May 19th? Oh, I was about to say this shit's fucking weird. I don't know, man. Shit just weird though. But yeah, man, this case is funky as fuck. And I ain't gonna lie. He gotta be the most sickest motherfucker you can ever see in the world. He gotta be the most sickest motherfucker in the world. I don't understand it, nor do I want to understand that shit. I never understand, no matter how many times, even when I worked in the hospital, I never understood these weirdos that we would get in our offices. Like, what up, JG? I never understood it. I don't care to think or wonder what's the mindset like. No, I don't give a fuck. I'll watch a documentary. He has one in life. He's going to get a documentary. He's going to get the death penalty. They're going to fry his ass, and then he's going to get a documentary. So GG for you. You're going to get that documentary you want. They're going to have you in slow motion walking out to the crowd, and then they're going to have your goofy ass getting caught up with that stupid ass mugshot, looking like a sculpture for Chia Pet. So, like, yeah, he good. Yeah, he good. He's going to get that shit. Shooting Squad now available. They need to do this shit from back in the days and shit. That shit nuts. The shit, what was it? What you said? No, you said Shooting Squad. I think somebody said Firing Squad. They need to stone his ass. Nah, man, they need to stone his ass, yo. That shit is crazy. Matter of fact, yo, he needs like a slow, painful death. That shit's because just an immediate death ain't gonna help. That's it's crazy, bro. Nah, and GTA, he needs something soft and slow because that shit is fucking crazy, yo. And the crazy shit was, you see her bag in the video of him dancing, getting ready to promote that album, and she was already dead by that time. And he's in that living room while her bag is there. And I'm like, how do you walk around this house like that? All right, you can't say the word lynch, CJ. Jesus Christ. That's why nobody said it in my chat. You can't say that. Oh my God. Wouldn't FaZe be in trouble because if he's bringing those, they probably did question him. They definitely questioned him. They probably questioned the FaZe house because they brought him around and wanted to know questions. And the FaZe guys probably said, hey, we don't want this to be like brought up because in our streams and stuff like that. So, but at the very least, this is why you always got to be cautious. Don't be hosting no parties and shit like that. You got underage girls and you got these older men and they groom them until they hit 18, 19. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. And she was only 14. That's just fucking disgusting. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says in any Twitter thing. The age of consent, bitch, shut the fuck up. If you guys defend anything of age of consent, I'm tired of hearing that shit. I'm tired of hearing that shit. The majority of y'all were raised from the 90s and up, and the majority of y'all are with the times today. That shit is not okay. And the age of consent, 16 to 18, was passed in 1920. So I don't want to hear about anything lower than that in the United States. I don't give a fuck. That's just a good excuse for the weirdos. The people that have been in San Quentin for like 20 years waiting to get executed, he's gonna get the death penalty and then commuted to life. That's probably true. That's why I'm like, damn, he needs like a slow, painful one. But here's the thing, it goes both ways. You go to jail, they see what you did to a little girl, you're gonna have those inmates that are in there for drugs and gang shit that don't fuck with people who hurt little kids and women. And he gonna have to stay with all the PDF files. He's gonna be chilling with the Subway guy, making sandwiches and shit, making meat sandwiches for safety. He dead ass gonna be singing. He gonna be singing in there with R. Kelly for safety, hoping his ass don't get fucked up. They gonna, man, that the shit is just completely out of. This is just completely out of touch. This shit is absolutely weird. He can't be in general population. Probably, yeah. That's true. But I mean, it's 2026. Anything can fucking happen. They did the same thing to I forgot what's his name. No, he won't be in general. He won't be in general pop. But that didn't stop a lot of people who got killed in prison. People find a way. It doesn't even mean, it don't even matter. Like, he won't be in general pop, but none of that shit matters. People find a way. The jail system is just as corrupted as the motherfucking police, and it's just as corrupted as society. There's always a way. Trust me. Donnie and I, we got family that work in Rikers. Trust me. When we say there's motherfuckers out there wilding, motherfuckers out there wilding. Juan, thank you for the 25 bits, man. He'll probably be on house arrest. Hell no. House arrest? Then they gonna drone and blow up his house. The last thing he's getting is house arrest. House arrest? If he gets house arrest for that, y'all might think this is crazy. If he gets house arrest, some people, weirdos out there, gonna think that they could get house arrest. You gotta understand how the influence of the internet is. It's weird. The IWC community is so weird that you can have people winning matches and the IWC just attacks their character and their race. So imagine just somebody getting house arrest, and then all of a sudden that's going to enable the mindset of thousands or hundreds of thousands of sick freaks out there who do this shit. Because guess what's the absolute truth? Guess what's the sad truth about shit? Y'all thought people was out here, like, remember Russell Simmons? Didn't he leave to like Beijing or some shit or some country, whatever, when all them files and all them, when mad shit came out about him and he changed his faith and everything? There's multiple things that happen, Bali. There's multiple things that happen when people commit these type of crimes. One, they try to flee to Mexico. But Mexico is starting to be up on that shit because they're not fucking with that shit either. Or two, they'll try to leave the country to some Asian territory. Three, every time they get caught up, chat, they change their whole religion. I'm a Christian now, my faith. I don't want to hear that shit. You still going down. I don't give a fuck. Every time somebody sits here and commits one of these disgusting acts, I seen what I did was wrong, and now I left it to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't even know how to pronounce the word, but forgive me. Peace, Psalms, John's 3:16. Give me a hell yeah, whatever the fuck everything is. These people use that shit and try to gaslight everything, and they try to like basically lessen the crimes that they've committed. In this case, David is not getting no house arrest. Canada's definitely not fucking with us right now. So that's why I'm like, so yeah, he might get the death penalty and they might hold it off, right? He gonna do life, but they also might do something where they have to proceed with something else, because we can't. U.S. is really in bad terms with half of the fucking country, with half of the world. But I say that to say, the craziest shit is knowing, in my head, is that if this fucking sick ass bitch rules out that he's schizophrenic, which I don't think he is. There's no fucking way. In his meetings, in his interviews, he is normal as shit. Yeah, man, because, you know, the music and the soul and and everything else. He was just a PDF file. He was a full functioning human being. If they try to rule out insanity, I'm fucking done with the internet. You probably won't see me on Twitch for like 2 fucking weeks, and that's just an excuse. But y'all probably not going to see me for a while. Society is cooked. Because how many times have people gotten away with crimes due to mental health? They plead insanity and shit. When you said people try to run, oh yeah, yeah. So that is crazy. You said, and we talking about David. Meanwhile, our president damn near, yes, and half of Hollywood. We talk about that David guy. We try to be respectful to the, you know, on stream, but we're talking about that David dude. But this shit is actually crazy, y'all. This is a scary. Our president has had alleged crimes upon him. A lot of people we looked up to, we were like, whoa, they had shit going on. Shit is a crazy situation. It's a crazy world we live in. Bro, I know shit was crazy when you hear that the United States is getting sued. countries are suing the United States for the amount of tariffs that they've been having to pay. When the fuck does that happen? Yo, DJ Crizzy, how you doing, pa? When the hell do you hear about shit like that? Let me see. Ooh. So shit is crazy. I didn't even know that. Yeah. So right now, I think there's certain countries can't do shit about the people who run this country, by the way, quite literally, because a good amount of the government and the dudes in power sweep it under the rug. Yeah, and you know what else, Mike? I'm glad you said that shit. If we got videos, I'm down. I like real thorough videos with the investigation music and shit. But look, I'll just say this. You know what's so crazy about this shit? And I'm glad that you guys are like engaging in this conversation because y'all really in y'all mature bag too. Because I was afraid to like talk about shit like this. Juan, you said wait. Is it not reading the shit? Am I tripping?
The issue, in my opinion, is that a lot of people have tons of money and people will buy themselves out of going to jail and a lot of scams and people getting taken advantage of with the full force of the law.
They better 25 bits. The problem is you got millionaires and billionaires out there. Another problem too is that our government is really fucked up. And what Mike said is also a good point because of the fact that, bro, another scientist, and we're straying away from the David case a little bit, just to know that we won't hear nothing. I would love to cover this shit every time we go live. I would love to talk about this and throw this shit up on YouTube because even when the Aaron Hernandez shit happened, even when the whole the kid met up with this kid to kill him over fucking video games. Like I used to cover news shit. Like I used to do this shit all the time, just to talk about it because it's just crazy shit, It's just crazy to see shit like that happening. And there was a scientist who on YouTube who always claimed he's not suicidal, and he was cracking down on the UFO situation. And somehow he was pronounced dead. They said that he committed suicide. How? Right when he starts cracking down on some information, suicide. Shit is crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. We live in a sick ass world. America was, let me see. You said America was literally built on darkness shit. It wasn't rainbows when it was founded. So unfortunately, see, here's the thing about my history, about me knowing what I know so far. I don't want to say I know who founded it first. From what I know, from what I've learned in school, Native Americans, they lived in America on American soil. I don't even know what America was called before it. I wish I knew, actually. I you know what? Probably later on tonight when I get off stream, I'll start doing, chilling and vibing, looking up information about that. But they were here first before the Europeans and the French and the Spaniards, whatever. It became dark after that, as far as what I know. I don't know anything before that because we just never learned. I never learned anything prior to that from school. Turtle Island, I don't even know. Canada was founded before America. See, I don't even. You ever watch the Octopus Theory on Netflix? Nah, what's that? Put me on. Doggy Dog World, yeah. Shit called the Motherland. Shit, look it up. I don't even know. Yeah, well, because you Wankster, you native, but I mean, you're also just mixed. You're mixed, but I really don't know the founding of America prior to natives. Like Vinland, it was called Vinland. Europeans came over and did the same thing Trump doing. Yeah, man, like shit is absolutely crazy, man. And this world, unfortunately, I'm not throwing people in there and just like making accusations, but didn't they say the first like case of something like that was in Greece? Whether if it was like two men lovers or inappropriate stuff of like PDF stuff. I thought they said that shit started in Greece or some shit. I don't know. I could be wrong. But just know crazy shit's been going on for years and years and years. And every evolution of life, every form of life adapts to whatever the ways of how society is working. In the society that we live in currently, none of that shit is okay. Just like 100 years ago or 100 years ago, it was okay for you to drink Coca-Cola with actual cocaine in it. 100 years later, that's never gonna fucking happen. You get what I'm saying? 50 years ago, you was able to smoke cigarettes at fucking 12 years old and buy cigarettes at like 10 years old at the store. Now, you just can't fucking do it. You just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Before, you was told to go to the military and move out the house at 15, back in the fucking 50s and 60s. You're not doing that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like things change and people adapt. So when we see these guys being PDF files, I'm not saying, oh yeah, that might have been okay. That was just what they were doing hundreds of years ago. And I know for a fact because every book that I read, if you again, I think high school, middle school, elementary school, they teach you they teach you like the basics of life, right? Of history, government class, U.S. government courses, or like U.S. history and all this other stuff. But when you go to college, the thing I liked about college was you got professors who really stuck to the guts of like really teaching you the like instead of just teaching you the family tree shit, they went into each branch of shit and taught you. And that's how I found out. Look, y'all gonna call me dumb for this shit. Y'all could look, I was in high school. Remember, I was in college when I was 19. I didn't know there was Japanese slaves. I didn't know there was Portuguese slaves. I didn't know that Portugal also had African slaves. I didn't know that they were out here building shit to obtain African slaves. I didn't know half of this shit. I didn't know that there was fucking Puerto Rican slaves. I didn't know there was Dominican slaves. I didn't know there was Haitian slaves. I didn't know any of those things. I didn't even know there was Chinese slaves. I didn't know there was all kinds of slaves coming to the U.S. But African slaves was probably the most. I know now we're changing the topic again, but again, it's a cool conversation before we get started with the stream. Just I mean, it's not to lessen it. It's really not to lessen it. But nobody knew the advantages or what could have been of Japanese people or Asian people in general when they were out here in the coolie trades. I think coolie trades. I think they're called coolie trade. They didn't know what their possibilities could have been as like intelligence was. Obviously, now they're probably one of the most smartest people in the world, but they knew the advances that the Africans had. They knew genetically, they were fucking fast. They knew that they were able to learn quick. That's why they didn't want them to learn how to read. And they didn't want them to learn like a lot of things. That's why they would pick out certain, Africans and they would call them the house, whatever word, because they would have them in-house working with them. But there was some that actually when one did learn how to read, they had them close to them and they had them against their own people and shit. Shit was fucked up. There's a lot of fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? And when it's almost like, as fucked up as it sounds, all these slaves from different cultures, different races, they basically like viewed them as like from like cars, like of like, hey, we'll sell you this, but then if you had an African slave, oh, that was more valuable because of just their work ethic and stuff like that. It's shit's fucking nuts. Just everything passed down. So again, we deal with, if I'm not mistaken, I think Africa still has slaves. I think they still have slaves there, and I think somewhere in the U.S. they had some weird shit going on. I forgot, this was like 10 years ago or 5 years ago I learned this shit. I was like, what the fuck? Some weird shit going on. But I know they reported he died from sickle cell. Wait, who are you talking about exactly? You said, yeah, there was also white people who were slaves as well because they didn't live up to the standards of their wealthy counterparts. Yeah, that shit is crazy. The only way to rebuild is to destroy, though. I'm hopeful some good will come out of all this when we get the devils up out of here. Yo, but it's crazy because you get the devils out of here and they're breeding more devils. You got guys like Cavicular. You got that Chud motherfucker. Like, he walking around telling people some stuff and then he's telling them don't be, I mean, I'll say the word just by itself, like chimpanzees. Like, he's saying don't thing out, and he's antagonizing them, he's bothering them, and he's basically provoking them. And as soon as they're like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? And he going up to them, he's trying to pull out his gun. And that Chud dude, like in his 30s. At one point, I was like, yeah, all these 70-year-olds are going to die. Like, everybody's going to die one day, but all these 70-year-olds are going to die. It's getting really bad. It's just, and you know what's crazy, Ezra? To your point, I'm going to add on. I'm not saying we need the PDF file. No, we don't. We could live a world without that shit. But in a world, we need a balance of like good and evil, because without one or the other, we can never advance as people to get to higher places and better lengths. I know that sounds crazy. And the only kind of evil I would hope for is like, or not hope for, that I would only wish there was around was like people fighting, or like, if there is gangs or I don't know, just something. I know it sounds dumb too. Everything all sounds dumb.